When Odgers approached us in terms of potentially participating in the program, I sat in the office and I thought to myself, this could be painful. And quite frankly, I thought, am I going to get anything out of this? And is the student going to get anything out of it? Because I think coming to spend a day with the CEO is most probably a day too short in some respects. And actually, your day is so busy, what can they learn? What can they understand? It's maybe not worth it. So we dived into the program. I must say we were a bit fortunate, and when you work for a motor company, you do get tremendous opportunities every now and again to showcase your product and have a bit of fun. And last year we had the Dubai Motor Show. So the student joined us. We had a great time. I think he had a great day meeting all the media and really got to see the glamorous side of what the whole experience was about. So from a CEO's point of view, at that particular point in time, I thought, job done. He's had a good day, he's had a great time, he's learned a little bit, he's seen basically how we work with the media, etc., etc. But on reflection, I walked away from that thinking it might have been a bit hollow in terms of his understanding of what being a CEO was really about. So when Sophie approached us again this year and said, would we be keen to partake in the program, I looked at it from a slightly different perspective. One was, what was the student going to take away? I can get them to drive fast cars anytime, I can take them around the track anytime, they can have that wonderful experience, which many of them do want. That's easy to do. But what they can't get is the actual day-to-day experience of actually seeing what a CEO does. And from a personal point of view and from an organizational point of view, I also wanted to see our approach to the youth in terms of what we were doing and effectively how we were performing. How were my youngsters, if I could call them that, in the organization? And it sounds awfully patronizing, but it isn't. How were they relative to the students coming out of university now? And also globally, we have we have a program in the UK that effectively takes the students, lets them join the company for a period of time, and then they effectively become full-time trainees and hopefully spend their careers with Jaguar Land Rover. Unfortunately, being a UK-based company, we're very UK-centric in that respect, so we only look to UK universities. We don't look abroad. And I felt this was an opportunity for us to actually, for me to gauge whether the students out here, is there potential for us to expand that program and look to take students from the region and involve them in our program in the UK and hopefully get them internationalized in that respect. So we changed the focus a little bit. I think it came into the organization. Very smart. I have to say there were a few people that were smiling when you left. But we gave him a true day's experience in terms of what actually happens. And I involved him in some really harsh discussions and some tough discussions that normally you wouldn't be exposed in. It was hiring and firing. He saw someone promoted, he saw someone get a pay increase, but he also saw someone not get a job. And he sat in that meeting, and I think for him, it was actually one of those moments, you always hear about these people, that moment of passion, everything's great, they've got the job, it's fantastic. But what you don't see is the difficult part of being a CEO. Sorry, you've got to exit the company. Or actually, you didn't get the job, better luck next time. And then he asked me one question, he said, and what about office politics? And it was almost as though someone was listening, because the phone rang, and it was most probably the most political phone call that one could have in an organization at that particular point in time. And it was, I think, an eye-opener in terms of how politics works within an organization. So there was some real learning, that the student was able to gain on that particular day. And I hope take away, and in the future, just understand what we do. So I guess at the end of it, what did I come away with in terms of us as Jaguar Land Rover as an organization? One, I think my youngsters, as I say, within the business, are doing a fantastic job. I think they're on the ball, but they've got good competition coming towards them. The other thing is, I think from a recruiting point of view, we continue to look at bright minds. We do need to expand our base a little bit bigger, and I think coming into this region will allow us to do that. We are growing the business here, but more importantly, I can now feed back into our HQ that effectively says we need to be more diverse in terms of where we're looking for our talent. We talk about being global companies, international companies, and yet many of the motor companies still, they hire and fire from the people in the local communities. So for us, that was a good takeaway. I think we'll be doing it again next year. It's been very beneficial. I hope Asad had a great time with us. We did get to drive some fast cars. He did get to drive it, well, he didn't get to drive it, he got to sit in it and be driven in one of our prototype vehicles, a product that we haven't launched yet. So there was a little bit of the excitement, a little bit of that dimension. But from a Jaguar Land Rover perspective, it really ticked the boxes. And I would encourage anyone out there, who wants to get involved in the program, think about what you want to get out of it. Think about what the student can get out of it, but then engage. And I have to say, as I stand here tonight, we'll be in again next year because it's really, really beneficial. Thank you.